Hey guys, Kyle Bell with Air Down Gear Up, and in today's video we're going to step through the process to install a drawer system in a GX550. So come take a look as we go step by step through our installation process. Alright, so for the first step we're going to tumble the seats forward just to get them out of the way, and then we're going to remove the D-rings. So we're going to unscrew that, pop them out completely, and then we're going to lift this cover up and install all our noise isolators. So to start this, we're just going to pop these trim caps up here. There's a bolt hiding underneath these, so we'll pop those up. Take a 10mm socket, and we'll go ahead and pull these out. Snap this back down just to keep that bolt captured, and we're just going to set these aside. Those won't be going back in. All right, so now with those out of the way, we're going to pull this cover. This just lifts straight up. You'll hear a little pop as we're undoing those little pins. And this is something that we want to talk through a little bit here. These reinforcing braces for the actual vehicle itself, our system mounts to this. And what we have found is that these actually flex with some load, and they hit the body of the car. They make a clacking sound. So we're going to install what we've called our noise isolators. And what that's going to do is that's going to prevent that contact from happening. Otherwise, you get this kind of hidden clack. We have found it, and these will help remove that. So we're going to loosen these. That's a 14mm socket that I'm using. You don't need to take that bolt out. You just need to loosen it. And then we'll take this piece of plastic that comes with your kit. We'll lift this bracket up. That's basically the sound that you hear. So we'll lift this bracket up. We'll slide this in place. There's a groove there. It'll be real obvious where that goes. And then we'll torque this back down. All right, so with those noise isolators installed, we're going to take this cover. A little pro tip here, you lift this up, take it flat, and then push it kind of straight down. We don't want to angle it down, we just want it to go straight down. Put that snap back in place, and now we're going to go work on the vehicle rear D-rings. All right, and then a real important detail here, this existing cubby will get covered up by the system. We more than make up for that space with the drawers themselves, but this does become inaccessible. So before we go too much further with our install, we want to make sure that we get all of our tools out of here. You don't want to find that out at the end, that those have been left in there. So we'll take these and just set them aside. Okay, so now we're going to pull the D-rings out of the vehicle rear near the hatch here. So same thing, we're going to lift that cover up. And then we'll just gently pull. Try not to pull on that cap because it'll break off. So just pull on the actual D-ring itself. And same thing, we'll close that up. So we'll come over here to the other side. We'll pull this off as well. Now that we've got our D-rings out, we're going to put our vehicle front anchor bar in. This has text on it, so you just want to orient that so that when you're standing at the rear of the car, the text is facing you. And what we're going to do is take this aluminum spacer, place that directly over the threaded hole that's in the car here, and then the anchor bar will go on top of that. And then we'll take a washer, and we'll take our fastener, and we're going to get that hand started on both sides. And then we'll make sure everything's centered up, and then we'll snug that down. Okay, so with that now started, there's a little bit of movement side to side. So you just want to get that mostly centered up. And then we're going to go ahead and tighten these down. So we'll go ahead and run these in. Okay, and with those in, we want to make sure that these brackets are loose. When we ship them, we'll ship them tightened just so that the hardware doesn't fall off in transit. But we want to make sure that these brackets are moving around, and that'll make the next step a lot easier. Okay, so with that front anchor bar in place, we are now ready to put the system in the car. We're using this real nice adjustable height table. We do a lot of these, of course. At this point, you can just recruit a buddy, pick this up, place it in the car. In the next step, what we're going to do is align the brackets with these slots that are on the bottom rail of the frame here. So we're going to place it in the car, align the brackets with the slots on the side of the frame, and then we'll position the system in. Okay, so with the system now on those brackets, we're gonna leave everything loose for now, and we're gonna switch to the vehicle rear side of things. To get your rough location, just check your wings, and you should have general clearance around those. And then as we position the brackets in the vehicle rear, it's gonna actually set the position. So we're gonna move on to that now. All right, so for vehicle rear, you have 2 brackets. These are driver and passenger side specific. So we'll get those positioned now. And to do that, we're gonna open a drawer, and then we'll reach in and access everything from there. All right, so when we go to install, we're gonna take the fastener with the washer, place that through the bracket. Then we'll take the spacer, put that there, and then being very careful not to drop the spacer, keep a hand on that. We want to get that aligned with that threaded hole where the D-ring was. And we're just going to get this started by hand. And what we're going to do is leave that nice and loose. We're going to get a couple of threads in so that nothing falls out, and then we'll get it nice and loose. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to align the holes in the bracket with the holes in the system by placing or pushing the system forward. So I'm going to repeat mounting this bracket on the driver's side. So with those brackets installed on the vehicle, kind of loosely, we're gonna just keep sliding the system until the holes in the bracket align with the holes in the anchor bar. You'll just keep moving that system kind of forward and backwards until they do. And when it's good, you should see an alignment like this where everything lines up just real perfectly. Okay, so with everything aligned, you can see how that's just perfect there. We're gonna get these started by hand again. We're going to keep everything loose until we've got both sides started. And then once we have everything started and we've got a couple of threads in on both sides, we're going to start by tightening the bracket to the vehicle on both driver and passenger, and then we'll follow up by tightening these. Also, just a little fun fact while we're in here attaching this bracket, want to point out that you do still retain access to your air compressor. So you can see in here, you've got really good access from both the rear and from the top. So no concern with your air compressor with our system. All right, so now that we've got the vehicle rear brackets all taken care of, we're going to extend the drawers to provide access here. And we're gonna come in and torque our brackets for this vehicle front. So we're gonna start by securing the bracket to the anchor bar. That'll be the first one that we do. And then we will secure the bracket to the frame of the system. So one last step, we're gonna take these little plastic caps here. This is just a cosmetic cover. We're gonna place them on the end of the rail at the bottom of the frame here. And those just press into place. They're designed with interference fit, so you gotta kind of work them in a little bit. But you just press them in place. You do that for all 3 rails. So that completes the installation of your air down, gear up drawer system in the back of a GX550. So come check us out and let us upgrade your adventure.